Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name's Zara if you're new. Some people call me Zara, some call me Zaza, it's all up to you. So today I wanted to do a video, a little bit of just a normal chatty video to be fair. Just about being a mum really and doing it kind of on your own with a 5-year-old. I'm just going to put it out there, and just say it's hard. And anyone that says it's not hard, you need to come and tell me what you're doing. We go through periods of ups and downs with our kids where the behaviour and, the routines that you're putting in is just going perfect. And then we go through times where it feels like nothing you say or do works. And for those parents out there that are going through that time where they feel like nothing that they say or do is working, we all go through it. And, anyone who says that they don't go through it or they never went through it, then you need to come and talk to us and tell us what you did so that we can do it because it is not easy. And that obviously that doesn't go for just single parents. Obviously that's all parents. All parents at some stage struggle. Obviously it makes it easier when there's two parents involved, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy. The load is lighter because there's someone else to lean on. And I also know there's a lot of parents out there who, although they have a partner who is involved, they're not as involved in raising the child as the other parent would like. So they feel like they're having to take on a lot by themselves. So you're still in the same similar situation. I mean, if you look back at my past videos, I've done videos about dealing with misbehaviour and so on. And it does work, routine and stability is definitely key in raising children and, them listening and responding to what you ask them to do, and just their behaviour in general. But there will be times, like myself personally right now, my daughter started school in September, and ever since she started school, her behaviour has not been great. She's not a bad child, she never has been. It's just she feels that she can talk in a way that I don't find to be suitable in terms of talking to a parent. And I want my child to be respectful and, polite to all adults, whether that's me or not. So how she's been going on recently has been quite difficult, and I think it's a combination of things, being around other children, new children that she's never come across before, and how they deal with situations is different than what she's used to. So she's kind of picking up or copying behaviours that she's seeing, and maybe behaviours that those children get away with in their home lives, but I don't find acceptable in my home. So yeah, like I was saying, I'm dealing with that situation at the moment and trying, not to lose my temper and trying to use the tools that, I've gained to deal with the situation as best as I can. With the help, I do have people around me that are involved with me and my daughter, and they do help me. They're kind of like a shoulder sometimes, like my mum and my cousins and so on. But on a day-to-day basis, it's just me and my daughter, and I have to deal with the situation. So I do try and use the tools that I know to deal with the situation, but it's not always the case that they work, and consistency is key. And when you're like myself, a full-time mother, working full-time, sorry, and also a mother, and having other, responsibilities as well, it can be difficult to juggle all of those at the same time and ensure that you're putting in the tools that you've been taught to deal with certain situations. Sometimes you just want to break down, and I think that's totally normal, and anyone that says that it's not, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. I think, as mothers, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to be the best, always have to get it right, but we're not. We're human, and we're going to get it wrong. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to backtrack a bit. Sometimes we lose consistency, and then we have to find it again, and start all over again. That's normal. But I wanted to make this video so that people don't feel like they're on their own. They're going through this alone, and there's everyone else is getting on, and everyone else is doing such a fab job, and their kids aren't like this, and why is my child like that? Well, no, you just haven't seen their child like that. It doesn't mean that they're not, or they're not fighting battles in other areas. Our children go through a lot of changes, whether that's going to school or nursery, whether that's moving home, or, all these different challenges and changes that they have to face. And, it comes out in their behaviour, and in their personality. Their personality may change. And, we have to be adaptable to them, as well as them being adaptable to the situation, and understanding and having open dialogue with our children. I think a lot of the time we don't talk to our children enough, and explain what's going on, explain why they're having these feelings, and explain why they're acting out or acting in the ways that they are, because of the changes or challenges that they're facing. And I think that dialogue is the most important thing when you have children, because they don't understand, and only we can explain that to them. But on a lighter note, it's a blessing still. We're learning about ourselves as well as teaching them to learn about themselves. We learn what we can put up with. We learn about our own values and morals, and what we expect from ourselves as well as our children. And it's funny because one of my friends told me the other day that he had taken his son out to buy some trainers, and he got his son a ball. So while I was in the sports shop, his son was bouncing the ball in the shop. So he told him to stop bouncing. And, what children are like, he stopped for a bit, and then he went back and started bouncing the ball again. So then his dad took the ball away and was holding the ball. So they were still looking at these trainers. So then his dad started throwing the ball into the air. So his son turned around to him and said, "You're a hypocrite." And it's times like that you have to remember, you can't expect them to do something that you don't do yourself. You can't expect to say to that child, well, you can't do that, but then you're doing it yourself, because then it just causes confusion. What's right then? What's wrong? So, like I said, key points: consistency, boundaries, setting an example, and just knowing that don't feel like you're alone. Don't feel like you're the only one that may be going through a tough time dealing with their child in terms of discipline. Speak to people. Speak to me if you got any, even if you just want to have a conversation about it, leave a comment. I'm here to talk. Especially as single parents, it can be very isolating sometimes, and you feel like you are doing it by yourself and there's no one to go to. And a lot of people don't have family. I'm very blessed to have a lot of family that I can go to, even if I need a break, just sometime to just remember who I am and be myself, and go out and act my age instead of trying to be this, feel sometimes like I'm 60. because I just don't, you know, you don't do anything, you don't go anywhere. But, you know, we are all connected in some way, so we must help each other, because our children are going to come up and be interacting with each other, and we want them to be respectful and have good morals and values. So hit me up, leave a comment, and, you know, we can have this, open up a dialogue. I think we can all help each other to feel better about being a single parent, you know, dealing with these issues. And even if you're not, but you're just struggling, we're all here. I think YouTube is a great place for people to interact, and the videos that are uploaded are just an avenue in to meet other people in the same situations. So, like I said, leave a comment if you have anything to say, if you need to get anything off your chest, if you want to make any suggestions for any future videos you'd like me to see, like me to post, sorry. But yeah, we're all in this together. So please like, share, and remember to subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you again hopefully next week. Bye guys.